Good morning, Your Honors. Before we proceed, may we introduce ourselves to the court? My name is Sophia Lonchar, and I will be delivering the opening statements on behalf of the prosecution. I will be joined by my co-counsel, Emma Briganti. We are here today to represent the prosecution, the state of Buckeye, in the case of In Re S. Khan. We will also be joined by Remy Silva, Blair Giorgio, and Ari Nowak. May it please the court. On September 9, 2022, Trillium High School hosted their annual alumni breakfast to raise money for the school's athletic clubs. Stevie Khan, a 16-year-old student at Trillium, trespassed on school property after hours, entering the high school's cafeteria and endangering public safety by putting exploding candy into the eggs that were to be served to members of the public without their knowledge or their consent. Not long after the incident, Khan made several incriminating statements. Based on those incriminating statements, police obtained a search warrant for Khan's phone and locker. The search of the phone revealed that on the morning of the alumni breakfast, before the eggs were served, Khan had drafted a TikTok with the hashtag #Eggcellent. The search of Khan's locker also revealed that Khan had several packages of the exploding candy, as well as a receipt showing the purchase of several more packages of the same candy. Khan was ultimately charged with criminal trespassing, battery, and destruction of school property. Khan now moves to suppress the incriminating statements that were made. Absent a custodial interrogation, police do not have to give Miranda warnings. If a suspect has not been Mirandized and is in custody, but voluntarily confesses without being questioned, or if an unwarned suspect voluntarily answers questions when they are not in custody, no Miranda violation has occurred. Khan was not in custody. They were never restrained or told they cannot leave to return to class. Someone who is free to leave is not in custody. This conversation was simply a part of school discipline issue and not an interrogation by law enforcement. Today, the defendant will try to convince you that Stevie took part in a custodial interrogation. The prosecution will utilize 3 key points to demonstrate that the defendant's actions were not justified. Number 1, Miranda warnings were not necessary because Khan was not in custody when they made incriminating statements. The Supreme Court of California ruled that an officer's subjective view is irrelevant to the determination of whether a person being interrogated is in custody in Stansbury v. California, 1984. The trial court held that Stansbury was not truly in custody and therefore not entitled to Miranda warnings until suspicion focused on him. Number 2, Miranda does not apply to school officials asking questions of students unless the officials ask questions in a police capacity as agents of law enforcement. The court ruled that Lacey's actions did not violate the Fifth Amendment, as under the circumstances where Lacey was not acting as an agent of law enforcement in S.E. v. Grant County Board of Education, 2008. Number 3, Khan made the statements and had no obligation to provide Miranda warnings. The statement should not be suppressed. If an unwarned suspect voluntarily answers questions where they are not in custody, no Miranda violation has occurred. On appeal, the Supreme Court of Arizona held that Miranda's constitutional rights were not violated in obtaining the confession in Miranda v. Arizona, 1966. As the prosecution proves these 3 key points, they will be calling 3 primary witnesses to the stand. Number 1, Blair Giorgio, a junior at Trillium High School, president of the Honor Board. They knew Stevie on a personal level and gained information on Stevie to report to SRO Nowak and Dean Silva after growing suspicious of them. Number 2, Remy Silva, dean of students at Trillium High School. Remy embraced their duties as the dean by starting an investigation to discover who sabotaged the alumni breakfast. Number 3, Ari Nowak, student resource officer at Trillium High School. Nowak obtained a confession from Stevie Khan that they sabotaged the alumni breakfast. Similarly, Nowak's brief and incidental involvement in the questioning did not transform it into a police investigation. Although Khan was in a room with Nowak for part of the afternoon in question, that was only for a portion of time, and it was a matter of abstinence that occurred when Silva had other duties. Mere incidental presence of a school resource officer as opposed to police instigation of questioning does not transform questioning into police questioning. After you have heard all of the evidence, we respectfully ask you to deny the defendant's motion to suppress. Thank you.